If you're like me, you're a fan of lots of bands and artists. You listen to their music, go to their shows, and maybe buy a t-shirt on the way out of the concert venue. Lots of artists have a dedicated fan base, but none are more passionate, devoted, and downright fanatical than fans of ICP and Taylor Swift. Taylor sings soulful songs about boys, breakups, and betrayal. Insane Clown Posse raps about murdering rednecks, digging up graves, and swinging hatchets. The two couldn't be more different, yet they've both managed to cultivate a ferocious following of fans for me to make fun of in this video. You might not think that Juggalos, aka fans of ICP, and Swifties, aka fans of Taylor Swift, would have much in common, but you'd be wrong. They do. They have exactly 5 things in common. Number 1, obsessed. If you want to get a little taste of the cult life but aren't yet ready to go full-on David Koresh, good news, you've got 2 options. Either become a Swiftie or become a Juggalo. Either way, you'll get all the perks of being in a cult without having to give away all your possessions or drink tainted Kool-Aid. Juggalos follow ICP and Swifties follow Taylor with cult-like obsession. To them, going to see ICP or Taylor is like going to church. Song lyrics aren't just lines to sing or rap along to. They're gospel, words to live by. Juggalos worship ICP and Swifties worship Taylor. They take being a fan very seriously. Curiously, they also take it literally. They're actual fanatics. In other words, Swifties are batshit crazy about Taylor, and Juggalos are wicked crazy about the wicked clowns. Lots of fans become so obsessed with Taylor and ICP that they stop listening to other music. If you were to pick a Juggalo at random and had them open up Spotify, there's a good chance you'll find a single playlist, one loaded with songs by ICP and other artists on their label, Psychopathic Records. If you were to pick a random Swiftie, same thing. Actually, you might find 2 playlists on a Swiftie's Spotify, one for Taylor's original recordings and another for the album she re-recorded. What you likely won't find is music by anyone else. To be a Swiftie or a Juggalo is to be obsessed. These hardcore fans are more hardcore than fans of hardcore bands. They'll happily wait in line for concert tickets in the freezing cold for several days straight to spend $500 on a seat in row Triple Z. They'll drive halfway across the country to gather with other like-minded fanatics during the blistering heat of summer. Swifties and Juggalos will do just about anything that Taylor and ICP tell them to. They're loyal, dedicated, and often under-medicated. To the outside world, Juggalos and Swifties kind of look like a cult. I can definitely see how someone might think that. Even the most devout of my Christian friends don't spend nearly as much time talking about Jesus as my Swiftie friends do blabbing about Taylor, and my Juggalo friends do about ICP. Whether or not you like Taylor Swift or ICP, as you can see, their fan base tends to be less like a following and actually more like a family. Number 2, identity. It can be really hard trying to figure out who you are as a person, especially in today's world. But Juggalos and Swifties don't have this problem. They found their identity, and they did it without all the pesky soul-searching and self-reflection that's usually required. When a Juggalo-to-be first discovers ICP, or Taylor first gets discovered by a future Swiftie, they can stop looking inward at their harsh reality because they found what they're looking for, their true identity. Swifties and Juggalos take immense pride in their identity. They're almost as proud to be Swifties and Juggalos as I am proud to not be one. To them, it's who they are, and sadly, it's likely all they'll ever be. But at least, unlike you and I who struggle to find meaning and purpose in an otherwise cold, cruel, unforgiving world, Juggalos and Swifties know why they're here on Earth. To be Juggalos and Swifties. To them, it's really that simple. When they first discover ICP or Taylor, they feel like they're discovering themselves for the first time. And as soon as they make that discovery, all self-reflection grinds to a halt because they found not only their identity, but also their new family. Once you become a Juggalo or a Swiftie, several aspects of life switch to easy mode. Never again will you stand there in the gym scrolling through Spotify trying to figure out what to listen to during your workout. You already know, ICP or Taylor. And you no longer have to go through the trouble of actually interacting with people to make new friends. If you're a Juggalo, just go out in public, shout, and all your new friends will come to you. While I don't personally identify as a Juggalo or a Swiftie, I can easily identify any person who does. And thanks to the rampant consumerism of modern-day America, so can you. Number 3, merch. Swifties and Juggalos love merch. There's no amount of money they won't spend to get their hands on some limited edition vinyl, tour hoodies, or autographed photos of their favorite artist. Juggalos and Swifties are suckers for overpriced merch. They'll buy 5 copies of the exact same album just because each one has a different colored color. This might seem foolish and wasteful to you and I, and it is, but Swifties and Juggalos are happy to plunge themselves into debt if it means getting to own a piece of merch in a slightly different color than the otherwise identical piece of merch they already own. Juggalos will buy literally anything that has a Hatchet Man on it. This is the logo for Psychopathic Records and looks exactly as it sounds, like a man with a hatchet. Juggalos proudly wear expensive Hatchet Man chains, shirts, hoodies, and other merch over their cheap Hatchet Man tattoos everywhere they go. That way, whether they're wearing 5 layers of clothes or 0, they can easily be identified by other Juggalos so that they may gather together to blast ICP songs and sip Faygo into the wee hours of the night. Swifties love useless merch just as much as Juggalos. A Swiftie's life just isn't complete until she owns all 14 variations of 1989, including the cassette tape version, even though she's too young to even know what that is. Whether it's a $200 hoodie or a $500 concert ticket, Swifties just can't seem to spend their parents' money swiftly enough. In 2024, it's projected that Swifties are going to spend $500 million on Taylor merch. And that doesn't even include the sale of concert tickets. Juggalos likely spend millions on merch every year too, although the exact number is harder to pin down. Even though Swifties definitely spend more money annually, Juggalos love worthless merch just as much, which makes both Juggalos and Swifties equally hard to understand for those of us who aren't members of either group. I hate to tell you, but you're living in denial. Denial of the fact that my brand new album, Denialism, just dropped on all streaming services, and it's even available as an actual physical CD. It's 12 tracks of raw, unapologetic chaos inspired by punk rock, metal, and all the other genres I'm always talking shit about. So if you enjoy loud music with fun, lighthearted themes like nihilism, class struggle, loneliness, and existential dread, Denialism is out now. So go stream, download, or buy. I don't care why. Maybe you like me and you want to show your support. Maybe you think I suck and you want to hear the album I spent a year producing entirely by myself so you can go and relentlessly make fun of it. Either way, I don't care. Just go stream, download, or buy my new 100% DIY album Denialism. Link in the description. Number 4. Misunderstood by the public. Yet another thing Swifties and Juggalos have in common is that the public doesn't understand them. Unless you're a Juggalo yourself, when you're out in public and some dude wearing a Riddlebox t-shirt with a Hatchet Man chain shouts, "Whoop whoop," out of nowhere, it's just going to scare and confuse you. Just like, unless you are yourself one, you're not going to understand two Swifties talking to each other because they use made-up words like Swiftmist, Swiftiverse, and Swiftalicious. The average person doesn't understand Swifties or Juggalos. To them, they see all Swifties as emotional little girls and all Juggalos as a bunch of weird, violent, face-painting gang members. The truth is that there are Swifties of all ages, split pretty evenly between men and women. And the overwhelming majority of Juggalos are peace-loving music lovers, not gangbanging street thugs. But thanks, at least in part, to social media, stereotypes about Juggalos and Swifties have swiftly spread faster than the legs of a hippie chick on shrooms listening to the Grateful Dead. Most people don't even try to understand them, but Juggalos and Swifties like it that way. Since only Juggalos understand Juggalos and only Swifties understand Swifties, it's like they're in a secret club, part of an exclusive community. Except that they aren't secret or exclusive. Anyone can call themselves a Swiftie or a Juggalo. However, I've yet to meet a Juggalo Swiftie. Or would it be a Swiftie Juggalo? Either way, I've never met someone who is obsessed with both Taylor and ICP. It seems to be one or the other. But as different as ICP's and Taylor's music is, they've built their massive followings the exact same way. Number 5. Relationship between fan and artist. Even if you think Taylor Swift and ICP both totally suck, you have to respect the way they treat their fans. Some artists won't even give their fans the time of day, but Taylor, Shags, and Violent J always go out of their way, between the things they do and the things they say, to connect with fans after every show they play. To be a Swiftie or a Juggalo is to be part of something much larger than yourself. Taylor and ICP know this and use the unique communities they've grown to connect with fans on a deep personal level long after the music stops. Taylor gives away lots of free shit every Swiftmas, regularly engages with fans online, and even has been known to invite a few lucky fans over for listening parties every time an album drops. Similarly, ICP is known to often hang out after shows for meet and greets, and they also host the annual Gathering of the Juggalos, an event packed with all sorts of cool shit for their fans. Whether you're all about spreading much motherfucking wicked clown love, or swiftly sharing your love for Miss Swift, if you're a Juggalo or a Swiftie, you're part of a family. That's because Taylor and ICP both go above and beyond to connect with the people who love their music and have each grown massive communities of fans. While lots of artists seem to forget that they need their fans and would be nowhere without them, these two have always stayed relatively humble. Fans of Taylor and ICP feel a deep sense of connection between themselves and their favorite artist. That's because whether they're getting showered with gifts during Swiftmas or they're getting showered with Faygo at an ICP concert, Swifties and Juggalos get showered with just as much love as they give. It's a two-way street. The money might only be flowing in one direction, but the love goes both ways. Taylor Swift and ICP love their fans as much as their fans love them, which is almost as much as the rest of the world hates both Juggalos and Swifties. Whether you're a juvenile Juggalo, a juicy Juggalette, or a sweet, soft-spoken Swiftie, you're part of something special, something that transcends the individual experience and even the music itself. Sure, you may be able to rap along to Ringmaster without missing a single syllable. You may be able to sing now, speak now, beginning to end. But the music almost doesn't matter. Being a Juggalo or a Swiftie is about so much more than music. It's also about buying lots of merch and using made-up words that no one outside the community understands. That right there, though, is the magic word. Community. To be a Juggalo, to be a Swiftie, is to be part of a community. Everybody wants to belong somewhere. The average Juggalo might look like he belongs in an insane asylum, and the FBI might say he belongs to a gang. But he, like you and me, just wants to belong somewhere. And when he discovered the Dark Carnival, he knew he was right where he belongs. Same with Swifties. Once the music of Taylor Swift lures them in, they become fearless followers with a reputation for being a lover of the music, the woman, and the folklore, now and evermore. And once you become a Juggalo or a Swiftie, there's no going back. You are never, ever, ever going back to normal. So embrace all the wicked clown love you get when you're at the gathering. Embrace the seas of your fellow Swifties at Taylor's sold-out stadium shows because they're the only friends you're ever going to have. Us normal people don't want anything to do with you Juggalos or Swifties. We think you're all a bunch of obsessed freaks who waste absurd amounts of both money and time on your precious little idol. You need to grow the fuck up, stop idolizing singers and rappers, and start worshiping someone a little more age-appropriate, like a guy who can throw a ball real far, or a woman who you can keep up with. But we both know you'll never change. You might not be able to commit to a partner or even a diet, but you are committed to spreading your love for Taylor and ICP. Whether a Juggalo or a Swiftie, no matter how much you get made fun of by people like me, you'll forever be a committed devotee.
You're so annoying.
If you want to hear some of my original music, my new album, Denialism, just dropped on all streaming services and is even available as an actual physical CD. Link in the description. If you like this shirt, it's available in lots of colors and sizes at musicbsharp.com, along with lots of other funny music-related merch. Link also in the description. And if you want access to special episodes of Music Be Sharp, visit my Patreon page where you can find exclusive content, get early access to regular videos, and more. Now, go listen to my new album, Denialism, on Spotify, YouTube, or wherever else you listen to music.